Have you ever wondered what happens within you when you decide to let go of someone? What spiritual and psychological processes are triggered in that crucial moment? Carl Jung, one of the most influential psychologists of the 20th century, offers a profound and transformative perspective on this subject. He believed that the act of letting go is not merely a decision made in isolation, but rather a significant journey into the depths of our psyche. In that pivotal moment, a multitude of emotions can surface: grief, relief, fear, and even liberation, all intertwining to create a complex tapestry of human experience. Jung posited that letting go can be seen as an archetypal journey, one that invites us to confront our inner selves and the shadows we carry. It is an invitation to explore the unconscious aspects of our identity, reflecting not only on our past relationships, but also on the patterns and attachments that have shaped us. In this process, we may encounter the concept of individuation, where we strive to integrate the disparate parts of ourselves, ultimately leading to a more authentic existence. As we navigate through the emotional upheaval, we may find ourselves grappling with the fear of loneliness or the uncertainty of what lies ahead. Yet, Jung would argue that within this discomfort lies the potential for profound growth. The act of releasing someone can serve as a catalyst for self-discovery, prompting us to reassess our values, desires, and boundaries. It challenges us to delve deeper into our own motivations and the roles we play in our relationships, urging us to reclaim our sense of agency. Moreover, Jung emphasized the importance of embracing the unknown. Letting go can create space for new beginnings, allowing us to forge connections that align more closely with our evolving selves. This process is not devoid of pain. Rather, it is through the acknowledgement of that pain that we can begin to heal and transform. By confronting our emotions and accepting the lessons they bring, we step into a realm of possibility, one where we can redefine our futures and cultivate a deeper sense of self-awareness. In essence, the decision to let go is not simply an ending, but a profound initiation into a new chapter of our lives. It is a journey fraught with challenges, yet rich with opportunities for personal evolution. As we embrace this transformative process, we honor not only the connections we release, but also the deeper truths that emerge within us, guiding us toward a more authentic and fulfilling existence. Letting go of someone is not merely an emotional act. It is a profound spiritual process that compels us to confront our shadows, integrate repressed emotions, and reconnect with our true essence. Carl Jung teaches us that by freeing ourselves from attachments, we can uncover an inner freedom that transcends the often confining limitations of the ego. This journey is not just about releasing another person. It is about liberating ourselves from the chains of our past and the narratives that no longer serve us. Jung invites us to delve into the depths of our psyche, encouraging us to recognize that the internal voice that often torments us is merely a construct of the ego, a voice shaped by fear, insecurity, and the desire for validation. When we let go of someone, we begin to dismantle this construction, peeling back the layers of self-deception and societal conditioning that obscure our true identity. As we embark on this journey of self-discovery, we confront the intricate tapestry of our emotions, acknowledging the pain and joy that have woven together our experiences. This process is both challenging and rewarding, demanding immense courage and an unwavering openness to what lies beneath the surface. It asks us to embrace vulnerability, to sit with discomfort, and to allow the healing light of awareness to illuminate our darkest corners. Yet, within this struggle lies the promise of profound and lasting transformation. As we release our attachments, we create space for new possibilities, fostering a deeper connection with ourselves and the world around us. In this sacred act of letting go, we not only liberate ourselves from the past, but also cultivate a deeper understanding of our own desires, values, and aspirations. We learn to navigate life with greater authenticity, guided by the wisdom of our inner selves, rather than the fleeting whims of external validation. Ultimately, The journey of letting go is an invitation to embrace our wholeness, to dance with the ebb and flow of existence, and to step boldly into the fullness of who we are meant to be. To understand what happens spiritually when we decide to let go, we must first explore the relationship between the ego and the authentic self. According to Jung, the ego is a construct of our mind formed through our experiences, beliefs, and traumas. It is the part of us that interacts with the external world, shaped by social expectations and the narratives we have internalized over our lives. The ego acts as a bridge between our consciousness and the outer world, but often, this bridge becomes a wall that separates us from our true essence. As we navigate through life, this ego-driven perception molds our identity, often leading us to prioritize external validation and acceptance over inner truth. The inner voice, that constant chatter that frequently torments us, is a manifestation of the ego. It reflects our fears, judgments, and expectations, but does not necessarily represent our authentic nature. It whispers doubts and amplifies insecurities, creating a cacophony that drowns out the quieter, yet more profound voice of our true self. When we decide to let go of someone, we begin dismantling this wall by acknowledging that the inner voice is just a part of us, not the entirety of who we are. This realization is the first step toward true self-understanding. In this process of letting go, we invite a profound shift in perspective. We learn to discern between the fleeting thoughts of the ego and the enduring wisdom of our authentic self. This distinction allows us to embrace vulnerability, fostering a deeper connection to our inner world. As we peel away the layers of ego, we start to uncover the richness of our genuine emotions and desires. We recognize that letting go is not merely an act of release, but a courageous affirmation of our intrinsic value, independent of external relationships or societal labels. This journey of self-discovery encourages us to cultivate self-compassion, as we learn to nurture the parts of ourselves that the ego has long overshadowed. In essence, the act of letting go serves as a catalyst for spiritual awakening. It opens the door to a more profound understanding of who we are beyond the confines of our ego. By surrendering to this deeper truth, we align ourselves with our authentic self, allowing for a more harmonious existence that is rooted in love, acceptance, and the freedom to be fully present in each moment. This transformative process not only liberates us from the burdens of attachment, but also reconnects us with the essence of our being, paving the way for a life that is rich with purpose and authenticity. Jung argued that one of the first steps toward self-awareness is recognizing that this inner voice is only a fragment of our psyche. This voice often represents a projection of our shadow, the part of our psyche that contains aspects of ourselves we prefer to ignore or repress. Imagine that this voice constantly tells you that you are not good enough. Where does this thought come from? Is it a belief adopted due to past experiences, or is it an echo of societal expectations that have conditioned you? Jung invites us to observe these thoughts from a higher perspective, allowing the true essence hidden behind the mental noise to emerge. By doing so, we can begin to distinguish between the authentic self and the distorted narratives that have infiltrated our minds. The purpose of life, according to Jung, is not merely to accumulate achievements or avoid suffering, but to embark on a journey of individuation, an essential process wherein we strive to integrate all parts of our psyche, including those we have ignored or feared, into a harmonious whole. This journey of individuation requires courage and introspection. It calls for us to confront the shadow, to illuminate the dark corners of our psyche where shame, fear, and self-doubt reside. In this confrontation, we begin to reclaim the disowned parts of ourselves, transforming them from sources of anguish into sources of strength and wisdom. As we navigate this inner landscape, we may discover that our perceived limitations are not inherent truths, but rather misconceptions shaped by our experiences in the world around us. As Jung posited, the process of individuation is not a solitary endeavor. It is intrinsically linked to our relationships with others and our broader social context. Engaging with the world, we reflect and refine our understanding of ourselves. Through meaningful connections, we can challenge the negative beliefs that have taken root in our minds, allowing us to cultivate a more compassionate and authentic self. Ultimately, this journey is about recognizing the interconnectedness of all aspects of our being, embracing the full spectrum of our humanity, and realizing that our worth is not contingent upon external validation but arises from within. In this way, we can move toward a more integrated existence, one that honors both our light and our shadow, leading us to a more profound sense of peace and fulfillment. When we cease to identify with these intrusive thoughts, we open ourselves to a profound transformation. Instead of being mere echoes of our past, they become opportunities for self-exploration and understanding. This shift in perspective allows us to observe our mental chatter from a distance, recognizing it as a tapestry woven from our experiences, beliefs, and emotions, rather than as an absolute truth. By detaching ourselves from these thoughts, we can begin to discern patterns and themes that reveal our innermost fears and desires. This process helps us to unravel the complexities of our psyche, leading to greater self-awareness and clarity. As we confront the narratives that have long governed our self-perception, we cultivate the courage to rewrite our stories. Jung emphasized the importance of integrating these fragmented parts of ourselves, the shadow self, as he called it, into our conscious awareness. When we acknowledge our fears and mistakes, we can transform them into sources of strength and resilience. This integration fosters a sense of wholeness, allowing us to embrace both our light and dark aspects without judgment. Moreover, by adopting a compassionate stance toward our mental chatter, we can learn to respond rather than react. Instead of succumbing to the weight of guilt or shame, we can ask ourselves what these thoughts are trying to teach us. This inquiry not only enriches our understanding, but also nurtures our emotional intelligence, enabling us to approach our challenges with a more balanced and empathetic mindset. In this way, mental chatter evolves from being a mere annoyance to becoming a guiding force, an inner dialogue that encourages us to explore our motivations, confront our fears, and ultimately heal. By paying attention to this internal compass, we embark on a journey of self-discovery that leads us closer to authenticity, fostering a deeper connection with ourselves and the world around us. Jung maintained that much human suffering stems from identifying with the ego, that internal voice that feeds on our fears and limitations, creating a constant narrative about who we should be, how we should act, and how others perceive us. However, when we step back and observe this mental chatter as an external witness, something profound occurs. We begin to realize that we are not those thoughts. Rather, we are the observer standing behind them, detached yet engaged, able to witness the ebb and flow of our mental landscape without becoming ensnared in its currents. An everyday example vividly illustrates this concept. Imagine making a mistake at work, and your mind immediately starts punishing you with a barrage of thoughts like, "I'm a failure," or "I'll never be good enough." According to Jung, these words do not emanate from your authentic essence, but rather from a mental construct, a defensive mechanism trying to shield you from pain or rejection. Paradoxically, this very mechanism keeps you shackled to your self-doubt and despair. Yet by practicing the art of observation, by stepping back and simply watching these thoughts as they arise, you begin to dismantle their power. You create a space in which they can exist without dictating your reality. This process demands courage, for looking inward means confronting the very parts of ourselves we have long chosen to avoid. Jung spoke of the journey to the underworld, a metaphor for the often arduous task of facing our shadows. In this transformative journey, we encounter aspects of ourselves that we have rejected, parts that, while uncomfortable or painful to acknowledge, hold enormous potential for growth and renewal. The shadow, according to Jung, is not inherently malevolent. It is simply the unknown, the forgotten, the repressed aspects of our psyche that, when embraced, can illuminate the path to self-discovery. As we venture into this inner realm, we may initially feel resistance, a natural response to the fear of unveiling what lies beneath the surface. Yet, within this darkness lies the opportunity for profound transformation. By acknowledging and integrating these shadow elements, we can reclaim lost parts of ourselves, fostering a deeper understanding of our whole being. This integration enriches our lives, enabling us to engage with the world more authentically and compassionately, both towards ourselves and others. In this way, we transcend the limitations imposed by our ego, discovering a more expansive sense of identity that encompasses not just our successes, but also our struggles, our failures, and ultimately, our humanity. For instance, someone who represses their creativity out of fear of failure may find that their mental chatter constantly tells them they are not talented enough. This internal dialogue is not merely a random collection of self-doubt. It is a projection of a deeper fear, the fear of being vulnerable, of exposing oneself and risking the judgment of others. This fear can feel insurmountable, a relentless barrier that keeps the creative spirit at bay. However, by bravely confronting this fear and consciously integrating the creative shadow into their life, this person can transcend their limitations and reconnect with a vital part of their being, rediscovering the joy and authenticity that creativity brings. The ego, with its insatiable need for control, constructs an illusion of separation that permeates our lives. It convinces us that we are isolated from one another, distanced from the natural world, and most critically, disconnected from our true selves. Yet, as Jung argued, at our deepest core, we are intricately woven together through what he termed the collective unconscious. This profound reservoir contains archetypes, symbols, and experiences that resonate across cultures and epochs, a universal tapestry that binds all humanity. When we manage to quiet the incessant mental chatter and delve into this deeper dimension of our psyche, we tap into a wellspring of wisdom that transcends our individual narratives. Imagine, then, that the voice telling you that you cannot succeed is not your own, but rather an echo of collective fears, a chorus of anxieties handed down through generations. These fears, while deeply ingrained, do not define your potential. When you make the choice to engage with the collective unconscious from a grounded place of self-awareness, you begin to unravel these echoes, transforming them into a potent source of creative energy and purpose. This act of liberation is not just about overcoming fear. It is a courageous step toward embracing a more authentic life, one where creativity flows freely and connection to oneself and others is restored. In this newfound space, individuals can cultivate their unique gifts, allowing them to contribute meaningfully to the world, enriching not only their own lives but also the lives of those around them. As we journey deeper into the realms of self-knowledge and integration, it's essential to recognize that this path is far from linear. There will be days that illuminate our understanding, when we feel a profound clarity and a deep connection to our true essence. Yet, there will also be times when the cacophony of mental chatter drowns out our inner voice, making it challenging to navigate our way forward. In these moments, it's vital to remind ourselves that every step we take, no matter how small, is indeed a victory. Each moment of reflection, every act of conscious observation, draws us closer to a life anchored in our authentic selves, liberating us from the constraints imposed by the ego. Carl Jung, a pioneer in the exploration of the psyche, posited that our journey toward individuation, becoming the unique individuals we are meant to be, has far-reaching implications. By delving into our own depths, we contribute to a collective awakening that ripples through the fabric of humanity. Imagine a world where communities thrive, not on the superficial interactions dictated by ego, but on genuine connections rooted in authenticity and shared purpose. This vision is not merely a lofty ideal. It is a tangible reality waiting to manifest as we actively embody and share these principles in our everyday lives. Every moment of introspection, each mindful practice, and every intentional step we take toward heightened consciousness reverberates beyond our individual existence. These actions have the power to transform not only our personal experiences, but also the dynamics of our relationships and the very essence of our communities. As we expand our awareness and choose to live from our true selves, we catalyze a shift that transcends our immediate surroundings, creating a ripple effect that can influence the world at large. You are an integral part of this transformative journey, and every action you take, no matter how small, contributes to this collective evolution. So, engage with your surroundings, reflect on your experiences, share your insights, and embrace the call to transform. The world is in need of the unique gifts that only you can offer. Your journey matters, and together, we can weave a tapestry of authenticity that enriches the lives of all.